Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you're feeling grand, and all is well in your world. Today's vid, everybody, we're off to see a friend of mine who has some very nice amplifiers, including a old Marshall Plexi, which you will hear, and we're going to talk to him about, his collection, if you will, and guitar, and just general funness times. That'll work. So, yes. I'm an idiot. So anyway, let's go. Okay, so here we are with Mr.
Jason North. We're at a secret location in a bunker in deepest, darkest Lincolnshire.
Indeed.
And which is where we hide all this wonderful Marshall gear. And so my name's Jason North. I've been watching the Dave Simpson's channel, and we've been friends, haven't we, for a few years. I've bought a few things off you and seen your band and stuff.
Yep.
Watched your channel, so I thought, why not invite you round here, have a chat, have a play, and talk about some gear.
Indeed, which is all good.
Yeah.
Which is...
So I've got a channel which is called Show That Pedal, there we are. Show That Pedal. T-shirts are available.
Yeah. Links are in the description box as well.
Yeah, this is a small. I'm not a small, but this T-shirt is. And have a look at that channel, and we're just going to talk, aren't we? Really,
Indeed,
about sort of getting started and bits and bobs like that. So I'm a bit older than you, aren't I? So
Indeed,
I got a bit of an head start, but you've certainly caught me up on the playing front. I started playing guitar in 1985. Yeah.
Year before I was born.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, crikey. So there we are then. But Christmas 1985, I got my first guitar, which is that yellow one there. Be rude not to show it, wouldn't it?
Amazing. Look at this. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so my mum and dad bought me that from a pawn shop in Sheffield, and I'd coveted it from about the September in 1985, and then it went missing. I told my dad. I told my dad that I really liked it, really wanted it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then one day I was getting from one bus to another in Sheffield, and I walked past the shop to go and see if my guitar was still there, and it had gone, and I was really disappointed. I thought, oh no, somebody's had it away, but no, thankfully my dad bought it for me, and I got started there. So it's an Encore JHS. Yeah, John Hornby Skew's not the modern JHS, of course. With, Josh, what's his name? Josh Scott, innit?
Yes.
Making pedals. Yeah, so he does a good pedal program, doesn't he, Josh?
Indeed,
Scott?
Indeed.
So we'll leave that there.
Yeah.
Pride of place.
Indeed,
Covered in dust.
I like the bottle caps under the tremolo to keep the tremolo.
That's right. Yeah, the tremolo system wasn't very efficient, unfortunately. So it was constantly going out of tune. I'll tell you what I did like about it though, which you don't normally get, is these individual selectors.
Yeah.
For the pickups.
It's like a Jaguar kind of.
That's right. Yeah. Instead of having like a switcher, but then it sort of makes it a little bit pointless with there only being two pickups.
Yeah,
because if you was doing the Dave Gilmore thing with having the 1 and the 3, missing out the middle one. But anyway, there it is, and it certainly got me started, and that was probably that probably did me for about a year or two. That one.
Yeah. Awesome. They're great looking guitars. These old Encores and stuff like that. The Tysco guitars as well. It reminds me a lot of the old Tysco stuff like the 60s, like the Del Reys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It looks a lot like that.
Yeah,
really
well,
good.
I mean, like as always, with the Mark Knopfler story and everything that he always says about the that German brand one that he
Hofner, yeah.
Hofner.
Yeah.
And he wanted a Fender Strat, but obviously it looked enough like it for me to sort of like say, well, yeah, that'll do me then, sort of thing.
Indeed, yeah.
Not really knowing what the quality of them was like, but the quality was okay, you know, it stayed in tune-ish. As long as it didn't use the tremolo, hence the beer bottles. Yeah, they've probably been there about 25 years actually, them beer bottles. Yeah.
Awesome.
But,
great stuff. Awesome, yeah. So where did you go from there then? What was the progression from the Encore?
well, I've probably got about 40 guitars at the minute.
Yeah.
And so, but the amount of guitars I've had throughout the years would be absolutely countless. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did. When I left home, I went to Leeds and I worked at Fox's Music on the Head Row in Leeds for a couple of years. And while I was there, customers would come in and say, "Oh, you know, can I chop this in?" And I'd say, "Well, the company won't really be interested in it, you know, but I'll take it off your hands for cash, and then you can put that towards the purchase in the shop, sort of thing." So everyone was a winner.
Yeah.
But no, I've had Columbus Les Pauls. I've had Marlin Sidewinders.
Oh yeah, they're great. Yeah, the Sidewinder. I got a Sidewinder about 2 years ago. Somebody just kind of like gave me it and goes, "You can have a Sidewinder," and eventually I had to. It was one of those guitars where I was like, "I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to make it work," and I couldn't. I eventually had to skip it. The neck was like a banana.
Yeah.
The pickups were gone. I eventually whittled it down to one pickup. I had like the Steve Ray Vaughan thing. I just had a neck pickup. But it just was like the neck moved. It was like a banana. You couldn't play it. The frets were knackered, and I was just like, I can't do anything to it.
No.
It's sadly gone. So unfortunately, it had to be
Skipped.
gone. Yeah.
I've thrown a couple of things in a skip and just wished I hadn't.
Yeah.
To be honest, because things, you know, I mean, there's things in here that I ain't used in years, but I still just like looking at them.
Yeah.
You know, and I
It's
just
nice
go,
to have.
I remember where I was when I got that, how much I paid for it, where I drove, you know, things like that's just memories. Because I love doing that. I mean, you know, in your videos, like you drive around, don't you?
Yeah.
You say, I'm going to buy this, and it's an experience.
Indeed, yeah.
You know, I love it. I love going on eBay or wherever and Facebook selling pages and just like going and meeting people like I have done with you a few times and that. So
it does. It adds to the story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause I've got an old what's it, Jim Harley Strat copy.
Yeah.
And I call it the Batcaster because somebody took a blowtorch to it. It was like a black Strat with a maple neck. It was like a cheap 90s knockoff.
Yeah.
And it's got a flame maple neck, which is really nice. But the body, somebody took a blowtorch to it, and it's plywood underneath, and it's not. But it's such a mess. But it's such a good guitar.
Yeah.
But the whole kind of like afternoon it took to go and buy it, and then kind of get it home, and then realise it didn't work. Then I had to fix it, and then. But it's like, you know, all these little memories, like, you know, I remember that, and that guitar's, I'm so attached to it now. It's one of those things that I don't really want to have to get rid of, and it does. It's cool little moments in life.
Yeah. Are you looking for anything? Would you say at the minute, or are you happy with your rig?
Rig wise, I'm happy. Apart from, I always like new amps.
Yeah.
But pedal wise, I'm not really going after new pedals as much. I've kind of had the set pedals I've had for years.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
What are they?
Like the Marshall Governor 2 Plus. It's like the newer one, the silver one, not the older huge black brick one.
Yeah.
That one, Marshall Jackhammer, Boss DS2, Vox Ac30 well.
Yeah.
Those pedals are just kind of like my home, and like I'm a bit of a creature of habit. So like, once I find something that works for me, I kind of just glue myself to it and go, right, well, that works. I'll play with other things, but I always end up coming back. So it's like, oh, I'll swap this pedal out. No, I'm going to put the other one back.
Yeah, I must admit, actually, one of my overdrive pedals is a Kalamazoo by Love Pedal.
Oh, yeah.
And I got it second hand, so it was cheap enough. It was only about £100. And every time I try a different overdrive pedal, I have that and a tube screamer.
Yeah.
And every time I try a different one, I'm like, oh, how can I get it to sound like the Kalamazoo? Like, what's the point?
Exactly. Just use that. Yeah. No, it's exactly the same. I mean, I keep trying pedals to see if they can get past the Governor, which is my kind of like the Governor and the DS2, which are my main distortions.
Yeah.
And every time I try something new, I'm like, it's not the Governor. It's not the Governor. And I haven't found a distortion pedal yet that actually. Well, two get really close. There's the Tone City Golden Plexi and the Tone City Black Tea.
Right.
But they're the two that get closest, but they're still not there. And on hand,
Golden
the Golden
Plexi.
Plexi. Yeah, it gets really close, but they're not. They're still not quite there. It's something I don't know. There's a depth and a growl to the governor that's just so unique to that pedal, and I can't get it out of any other pedal. So.
But what about tube screamers? Don't you really get on with them?
I don't know. I'll say you've got mine.
Prior owned by Dave Simpson.
That was mine for years.
Yeah.
And
in fact, it's got some errata on it.
yeah, it's probably got it inside it as well.
Yeah.
But no,
it's good because it makes me play like you.
What, really, really badly? No. Got a bit of self-effacing stuff. But no, I mean, the Tube Screamer, I loved that Tube Screamer for years. Like, I found out Rory Gallagher was the reason I wanted a Tube Screamer. It's funny, really, because most people want it because of Steve Ray Vaughan. And I found Rory used one. And I was like, oh, I've got to get a Tube Screamer then. And it kind of gave me what I wanted, but it didn't play particularly nicely with my Boss DS2.
Right.
They kind of despised each other, to be honest with you. They kind of hated each other.
Yeah.
And that was a problem because I love the DS2 and it wasn't giving me what I wanted. So eventually I switched to the Golden Plexi and the Marshall Jackhammer, which worked better.
Yeah.
And that was when I sold that because I was like, it literally sat on a shelf that did for about 3/4 of a year, and I didn't touch it once. And I was like, maybe you should sell it, Dave.
Did I buy that off you as well?
The Golden Plexi?
Yeah.
No. I've only got one of them.
Yeah, you've still got
yours,
one.
Yeah.
Mine's falling apart. I think I must have unscrewed it at some point, but.
But no, I mean, they're great pedals, but it just... I don't think I'd ever use them again. Like, I like the mid-rangey thing they give, but because my setup's quite mid-rangey anyway, it kind of can make it a bit clunky and a bit boxy.
Yeah.
So,
what amp are you using?
Well,
I say you're using like for gigs. We haven't done gigs for 6 months.
I know we can't gig, but not well for gigging wise. Last year, I switched to the Boss Katanas because 2018 I ruined my back. My back just went. Bleh.
Yeah.
I remember loading that 412 Marshall, 412 Orange at a gig, and my back went ting, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I can't move. And I was like, for like 2018, I was like, oh, this isn't good. And then I found the Boss Katana 50, and because it's like this big and it weighs as much as like a kid's lunchbox.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, and it's dead loud, and it feels like a big amp, which is great. And then I got the 100. And now I've gone to the Boss Katana Artist, but there is obviously the CR120 by Orange and the Marshall MG, so it's one of those three.
Got choices.
Yeah, indeed. What about you?
I quite like Fenders for the clean.
Yeah.
So I use that Fender Deluxe over there quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because
show you that in a bit.
Yeah, especially for like local heroes stuff.
Yeah.
Because like 1 minute you're doing like Lay Down Sally and you want like a nice clean sort of compressed Clapton rhythm sound for that, and then but the next minute like you're doing something like Jet, Are You Gonna Be My Girl, and you want like a Marshall sound.
Yeah.
Well, of course you can get pedals to make that amp, like you say, you know, the Golden Plexi will make that amp sound like a Marshall.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
will the Governor. And then but you can't really get a Marshall like this old one here, which we'll talk about this because it's got a lovely sound. Actually, I'm about to contradict myself because if I do plug it in, and say you can't get a nice clean sound out of a Marshall unless it's like a really really old one like Plexi, and then it needs to be turned sort of like fairly quiet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
However, like I say, I'm about to contradict that because I have tried. I have tried this quiet. Clean, sorry. And it does actually clean up. So here it is, it's kicking in.
It's coming.
It's coming.
The sound's on its way.
So that's with the what we call it, the pre on full. But then of course if you turn the pre down as far as it'll go, and then you use the volume for the volume, strangely enough. It might be because it's an 100 watt that it's
it's got the
clean
headroom.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a 2103 from 1979. It's got two vintage 30s in it, which obviously wouldn't be the original ones. It probably had like sidewinders or something high.
Yeah.
Or it might have even had them red back ones, which I think were Fanes. You know. As
Yeah. I know
opposed
what you mean, yeah.
Like Celestians, because I don't think Celestian did a speaker that could handle that much, power. But yeah. So
nice.
It's nice, isn't it? It's, and I'll leave it on. But yeah, it's and I've only just got this. Like I say, I bought it off a guy in Keighley.
Yeah.
And it's got a new or a replacement logo on it, because originally it would have been a big logo. This is the fake sort of pinstripe stuff that you'd normally find on a blues breaker.
Yeah.
And then even the Tolex has been replaced, because it would
Oh,
not.
yeah,
It
of course.
should be.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's a tight sort of small elephant grain.
Yeah.
As opposed to like well, I mean, there's two
like
different
that.
caps there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. That there,
like that one there.
is the late 70s. That used to belong to the Beat.
Oh, that one there.
That cab, yeah. I
Brilliant.
I bought it from Mablethorpe, I think, of
Yeah.
all places. And the guy was the old roadie from the Beat.
Oh, good God, amazing.
Yeah. So and it's got black backs in it.
Yeah.
It sounds really nice, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah, the amp on top there, that's from a combo.
Yeah.
That's 100 watt as well. So that's quite interesting. So you can tell that it came out with a combo, because all of the controls are upside down.
Yeah, as long as I'm getting closer, it will blur, but hopefully you can kind of see like master's upside down. But
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, but that's a great amp. But I suppose, getting back to the question, I will just use anything at a gig, really.
Yeah.
It depends on the size of it as well, doesn't it?
That's true. Yeah.
And also sometimes you get an amp provided as well. So like so going back to not wanting to break your back.
Yeah.
This goes in a travelling case, and it already weighs like the size of a small semi-detached house. So once it goes in the travelling case, which is this, it's it's even heavier. So, but we have supposedly got a gig on Friday, all like Corona sort of controlled and everything like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll be able to get that in there and trick people into thinking it's a small amp.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
It's an 100 watt Marshall.
Don't worry, it's only 0.5 watts.
Yeah, but I mean, that's literally on half. Lovely.
Cool sound. I'll say I've only ever played like I say we were saying before we started filming that.
Yeah.
I've played for a 50 watt, and you normally see the 50 watts, but I've only ever seen one or two ever of the 100s. You don't see the 100 watt combos that much.
It's about the third or fourth one I've seen, but but they normally go for ridiculous money. But this one didn't work.
Yeah.
I picked it up from Keighley like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And just got it home. And the bloke said, it keeps blowing HT fuses. So put an HT fuse in it out of my laney over there. And of course it blew it. So I just rung Marshall.
Yeah.
And said, can you pick up? And it's just the thing about Marshall I've always found. I don't know about you, but I've always found that when I've said I ain't got an amp, I've got an amp that doesn't work.
Yeah.
They've said, bring it down, or we'll pick it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this time I was like, well, I don't mind a trip to Milton Keynes, you know.
Yeah,
I'll go there.
Mm.
And they're really friendly and helpful and stuff. And you can go in there and you can have a look at all their old amps that they've got. Yeah. Which interests me, obviously.
Indeed,
I'm
yeah.
like a bit of a collector.
Yeah. So we'll go around all this lot in a minute, and we'll let you see it all because it's fantastic.
And so, but and they said, oh no, well, we can send a courier and pick it up. And I was like, I was thinking that's going to cost me about 50 quid. It weighs a ton.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to send it all the way there. They've got to fix it all the way back again. And it was like 22 quid.
What?
Yeah. So I was thinking, well, I'll spend more of that in fuel.
Yeah.
More than that in fuel. So I was like, oh, is that like there 22 there and 22 back? No, 22 for the there and back return journey.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, book it in then.
Yeah.
So I'll just do that in future because there are a few things in here that do need to go to Marshall.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, this was probably my last big sort of purchase that I was really chuffed with, because this is a Club and Country.
Yeah.
From 1979, nice. and Stevie Ray Vaughan played one of these. And it's mint.
It is, and it's absolutely spotless. There's a bit there,
of a mark there, and a bit of a chip there.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely mint. It's got the original speakers in it. But on the subject of Club and Countries, over here, over there,
oh good God,
just underneath the JCM 900.
Yeah.
There's another Club and Country under there which somebody has changed the Tolex on.
Oh my God.
They've changed the material on.
Let me remove the camera from the tripod. Sorry everyone about the noise. You need to see this. This is hysterical. Look at that. Catastrophic failure. Okay.
Yeah.
I can go down that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
that's
an interesting. The same app.
Yeah.
But somebody has absolutely ruined it because they couldn't stand for a Marshall to be any colour other than black.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've put really horrible Tolex on it.
That's interesting.
They've put horrible speakers in it.
Oh God.
They've put, I think this is the material that 60-year-old women wear on the legs.
It's a bit weird. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. It's like tights.
Yeah.
That's just horrible. So this I could do to get this to Andy at FA Cabs in Lincoln.
Get him to redo it,
Get him to redo that. And then send it to Marshall. Because, like I said, the speakers, they are Marshall speakers, Celestian speakers.
Yeah.
When I say that, I mean the Celestians, but they're branded Marshall.
Yeah.
Called something like Monster Tone. And I looked them up because they're 80 watts, which is a bit weird, isn't it? 80 watts each.
Yeah, 80 watts, yeah.
And so I looked them up and it's like Wolverines, they are.
Yeah.
But still called G12s. G12H 80 Wolverines. So probably an 80s thing or something.
Yeah, a bit more high output.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But weird really. But so I used that actually last year. We did Upton Blues Festival.
Yeah.
In I think it was Shropshire or was it Herefordshire? Anyway, one of them. And I used that on stage, which was really risky.
Yeah.
You know, because it could have seriously gone wrong.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So you want the stand back?
Yeah, we'll get. Well, I'll turn it off and then we'll be back in a sec. And we're back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So considering how much you can on eBay now, you can just get this material. You can get that material. You can buy this material. You can get like the salt and pepper.
Stuff,
You know, you can't get that stuff.
Oh, that stuff.
That's proper 60s stuff. But you can get the black stuff. You know, and it's like, well, I don't know, it's like 12 quid for a square to cover a 2x12 and maybe about 20 quid for a 4x12. So that was my chair, folks.
Yeah. It hasn't got to that point yet.
No, I haven't even had any breakfast. So why somebody's done that to that amp, I do not know.
No, like I say, I mean that red Marshall cab that I recently acquired, that was black, and it is. You see it all the time though. It's like there's a lot. You see every now and again. It's like there's old Marshall plexis that were like red or green or white from the factory, and people have sprayed them black because they want the black image. They want that kind of classic look of a black Marshall.
That one, yeah.
And even though Marshalls are technically blue, really, they've got that bluish tinge to them. The old ones, they're not really black. Saying that, I think the only Marshall I know that is actually proper black is the MGs.
Yeah.
They are, but
Black.
but yeah, they are. They are like a
That cab over there is actually blue.
Yeah.
It looks black, or you would mistake it for being black.
Is that the vintage modern? No, is it vintage modern?
It's got greenbacks in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to go with like the blue.
Yeah.
Sort of DSL.
Yeah.
Styling sort of amp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I had a DSL. I thought it was great. In fact, I've still got a combo. 40-watt combo DSL. I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Use one of them live as well because that goes clean, quite loud.
Yeah.
So you beat a drummer with one, you can still stay clean with alongside a drummer. So yeah.
Cool.
But I've got a couple of Vox Ac30s as well. They're nice and incredibly loud.
Yeah, indeed.
So they're good for gigs. We played at talking about Milton Keynes. There's a Bletchley Blues Club.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you've played it. Have you?
No.
We played there. I got an AC30 from 1962, and that was the first time I used that live.
Yeah.
Was at Bletchley Blues Club. That was a great venue, and lovely sound coming from the amp.
Yeah. There's something about an AC when you get it to a point. AC30, they sing. They really do sing.
Absolutely, don't they?
They're brilliant. Yeah. Especially the old ones are really nice. I remember in Old Hat he had a one of the first AC30s, the TV front one.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was an AC30. It was basically inside. It was like two AC15s like jumpered together internally. It was so dangerous, and you could have it on for about 5 minutes and you could fry eggs on it. It was so hot. I don't know. Obviously, the bias was wrong. It can't have been that hot. It was so dangerous. You had to turn it off by putting your hand in your sleeve and doing that. But when you got the volume, the volume was about. If you got it to about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it sounded brilliant. But by that point, it's deafening, and you're just going to destroy people's heads. At that point,
it's not just faces.
It's not their faces. Their entire head is going to go. But it was just absolutely insane. But the sound of it though was just like, this is amazing, and everyone over there going, yeah, it's not. It's like horrific.
It's amazing for 5 minutes, and then you have to turn it off and get third-degree burns. For the pleasure.
Before it sets itself on fire. Yeah, but yeah. So
no, luckily mine both work. I bought one last year. Well, that Marshall head up there. And this was the thing as well. Nobody really wants them because they're just clean. Yeah. Well, say that if you go into the channel where the reverb is. Yeah. And you turn it up to about like 2/3. Yeah. Just like 4 or 4.5 or so, it does start crunching. Yeah. Oh, really? And then all you need obviously is like a little bit of a boost pedal.
A bit of a kick on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I say, mine would be like that Kalamazoo or something like that. And then it absolutely sings just like any other Marshall. Yeah. So I think that there's a little bit of a sort of misunderstanding about those amps.
Yeah, because I say I've tried a few, and that's kind of what I've experienced with them. Is I really like the reverb in them. Yeah. But the amp itself, the overall kind of tonality of it, never really sat with me. Like compared to like a Plexi, or a free-old Marshall, basically, it never really. They're nice, but they was never quite there, And again, when you did crank them, it was like they started to go, but they were still, like you say, they needed a bit more of a kick.
Definitely, yeah. But I went down to, I think it was Southampton to buy that, and again because it was such a long drive away, it was. And because of what it is as well, I think it just put people off bidding on it. Yeah, so it just stayed ridiculously low, in price. And so I drove all the way down there, and I said to the bloke when I got there, is there any other like music shops or places to have a look at? And he said, yeah, you want to go and have a look at this Guitar Shack, I think it was called, in the town next to Southampton. And, and I went, and there was an AC30 there, and I was just like, oh my god, And I think whatever price it was, I said to him, can you go any lower? Yeah. And he instantly slashed it by 200 quid.
That's a pretty substantial reduction, that, isn't it?
And then I said, well, if I let's say 1,500 quid was the starting price, and he said, I'll give you it for 1,300, and I said to him something like, I'll give you 1,200 and I'll walk out with it now. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, all right then. I said, I've just got 300 quid off.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yes, I was well chuffed with that.
Wicked. Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, and the thing is as well, pedals.
Yes.
Is what I do. I do spend a lot of time buying pedals, collecting them. I just like looking at them. I like, obviously, like the sound of them.
Yeah.
I like the discussion, the constant discussion of like how to put what
where. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, indeed.
What do you think?
I find a lot. I do like talking about pedals, but I like talking about amps and guitars more. It's kind of like, because pedals for me are kind of like, because I'm set kind of thing. I've become a bit of a stick in the mud. Well, not really a stick in the mud. I don't mind talking about them, but I kind of like, I know what I want from a pedal. Like if I plug a new pedal in, as soon as I plug it in, I'll know within the first 5 seconds whether I like it or I don't.
Right.
And again, just throughout the years, just trying like everything I could get my hands on.
Yeah. Is that like working in the music shop as well? I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
I worked in Fox's, as I said, and you just like in the late. When was it? The early 90s, like from 90 to 92 when I worked at Fox's, and there was just everything in there. It was a big music shop, for the UK anyway. And and so I would play on Charvels, Jacksons. I think I've only ever played on one Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get along with that because where the strings come off of the neck and then where the body is,
it
just seems to be like a cavernous distance from,
I know what you mean.
from the action to where the guitar actually starts.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but I mean, talking about pedals though, I mean, tuner. Do you have a pedal tuner?
I do. Yeah. I use my Zoom G2 multi-effects unit tuner. It's always been really, really good. It's always dead reliable.
Yeah.
Unless I'm using my Line 6 HX, in which case I use a Snark, because the HX's tuner is just like, yeah, you're in tune, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're a bit sharp. Now you're flat.
Go
like,
with it.
And you're just like on stage, like doing this. It's like, my God.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll just snark it. Use the Snark. This is better. Although I do think I fixed that with updates, but I don't want to update it because I'm terrified of losing the presets. Like, if I update it, it'll ruin the pedal.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
so
no,
you've got that as the tuner.
Yeah.
And that's a Zoom, you say.
Yeah.
And then what? Couple of overdrive. You've got a wah as well, though.
I've got wah, yeah. I mean, I've got. Well, my pedal board at this point in time is like Zoom Line 6 HX effects, so it's like 2 multi-effects units.
Oh right, well that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
because,
indeed.
I mean,
people are like, why you got 2? And it's like, well, because the Zoom does one thing and the HX does something totally different.
Right.
And the Zoom is like the brain. The brain, that's like the part that controls all my board. Really is my Zoom pedal. It's all sorts. It's my reverb because I have it set up on the expression pedal, so I can get more or less.
Ah, right.
It's my tuner. I also use it for a little bit of compression.
Yeah.
I really like the compressor in the Zoom. And then the HX does all my kind of like delays, spacey effects and stuff like that. And then we get to distortions, which is the governor, and then the jackhammer overdrive, which is always on. And then I've got a chorus, which I'm waiting for people to say that's a weird place to put a chorus because it's between my chorus is between my always on overdrive pedal and the wah pedal. Because normally the choruses would say go at like amp into a chorus, but it doesn't work there on my board, so I had to find out where it works, and it works better there.
Yeah.
And so from there it goes to the chorus, and then the chorus to a wah to a DS2, wah to a fuzz. DS2 to a fuzz, and then out to my guitar. So
right.
That's it. Yeah. And
what fuzz is it?
It's a sundial fuzz by a guy. He lives in Skegness. He Hubcap Johnny's name is, and it's just really. I've tried so many fuzzes over my time. Like I had like the fuzz face and the Dan Electro Cool Cat fuzz, and I've tried the big muffs. And for ages, my favourite fuzz pedal was the Electromonics double muff.
Yeah.
Which I like the Nano because I don't know if it was just me being weird, but I always thought the small one sounded better than the bigger one.
Right.
It's like, it sounds better. No, it doesn't. It does. It's that weird Eric Johnson-y kind of like silly psychosomatic thing. Yeah. But then he said, "Oh, try my fuzz. It's a sundial. It's basically a clone of the fuzz face, but slightly modified with 3 different voices." Right. And I was like, "Oh, wicked. Okay." So I plugged it on. I was like, "This is the only fuzz pedal I want now." It just like shot in straight away, and I was like, "I haven't used any other fuzz pedal since."
Oh, I'm trying one of them actually then, because I don't really get on with fuzzes.
No.
I mean, I don't find them all that. I suppose organic, really, for want of a better word. They are definitely a an effect and an acquired taste, because
Yeah.
it doesn't sound, well, I suppose it sounds like an amp that's on absolute maximum, that's
Yeah.
to the point, but I don't really like that spitty thing either.
Oh, where it cut in and out.
Yeah.
I don't like that either. I don't like fuzzes that
No.
do that. I recently got given a Boss FZ free fuzz. And it's an amazing fuzz pedal, but it does that spitty thing where if you stop playing, it gates itself.
Yeah.
The hubcap John doesn't do that one. It just kind of, it flows. It's got that kind of like overdrivey warmth, which I really like. I don't like it when fuzzes are really in your face.
No.
Like, that's why I don't really get on with the big muffs.
No.
So I always find them to be either too dark or too fizzy. I can never find a mid ground with them.
So is there 3 settings then? Is there a dark setting and a fizzy setting, and then you've got one that you like, or do you like all 3?
I like all 3. It's not a fizzy setting, which is really great.
Oh, good.
There's like for like the left setting, there's because it's called the sundial. There's morning, noon, and night.
Right.
And the night setting is like the darkest. It's like sludgy, just low end, but you know, would be awesome if you're gonna do. If you're recording and you want like a super low endy guitar, it would sit really well. And the middle just sounds like Tony Iommi, even though it's more distortion, it's more overdrive.
Yeah.
And then the morning sound is Jimi Hendrix. So,
Is it?
Yeah, it's like Jimi Hendrix, Tony Iommi, and sludge.
Wow.
So it's all free, and all you do is just turn everything to 10.
Yeah.
And happy days. And it does that thing too where you roll the volume down, your guitar, it cleans up.
Right.
So if you get your volume down to about 2 or 3, it just becomes that really glassy, almost Fender-esque clean, which is really cool.
Oh, good. Good. So I would get in touch with him then if I has he got a Facebook page?
He's got a Facebook page, yeah.
And he's called
Hubcap John.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
As I've done a lot of reviews for him. And he's probably watching it, so hello. Yes.
Another mention.
Yes. But yeah, they are wicked fuzz pedal. I've used a few of his pedals now, and I've got a couple of treble boosters of his and stuff like that, and it's just they're all really cool.
Yeah.
They do exactly what you want them to do.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm intrigued because I don't think I've ever found a fuzz that I like.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I wish I'd bought it.
Yeah. Never mind.
Indeed, next time. Time. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, do you want to give us a walkthrough? Or
Let's have a walkthrough then. Yeah.
Okay, so
just behind it, I dumped everything on this side of the room because I thought, we won't be filming over here. But here we are filming over here, and so I'll put that there. So this is a pair of old 60s Marshall speaker columns.
Oh, nice.
No speakers in them, and not particularly interesting really. They've been recovered. I like things original.
Yeah, to
really.
look right. Yeah.
So they look a little bit squeaky clean to me.
Yeah.
That's got a cream back in it, which is
right.
nice.
Yeah.
You know, I've played through that for a few minutes, and 75 watt handling. So you can put
nice. So you can really.
Yeah, you can put a 50 watt amp through it, no problem. These are interesting. These are 3x12s.
Okay.
Because somebody's cut them down.
Good God.
But this is the original, the original top bit.
Yeah.
They chop the bottom off, so you could only get 3 speakers in.
That's a weird mod.
I was thinking, isn't it? Why would you have 3x12s?
Yeah.
But I mean, the reason why I bought these was for the fabric.
Yeah.
Because it's original 60s pinstripe.
And I say you just can't get that anywhere, can you?
You can't. You do struggle to get that.
Yeah.
So if I wanted like 2x12, covered in this, then I've got it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Laneys, I've always liked Laneys. I think they're great. I say this one doesn't work at the minute because I took the HT fuse out to donor it to the Marshall, which then blew it up. But lovely, like a JCM 800 really on steroids.
Yeah.
Really good.
A lot of people say that about Laneys. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, they sound like 800s, but they're like even more crank than that."
Yeah. That's an interesting cab. It's the what do you call it, Harley Benton.
Oh yeah.
Cheap thing.
Yeah.
But it's got the what do you call it, vintage 30s in.
Oh nice. Yeah.
This is the one we was talking about, the blue one.
You can really see it actually on the camera. Yeah.
That's right, and it's got greenbacks in it. So that was an eBay purchase. Nice. I think that was Facebook. This was. I think these were going for about £100 a few years ago, and I bought this one. It's not got reverb in it, PA, but it's just basically like a little JTM 45.
Yeah, I bet it's
Plexi sounds great for pedals.
Is it valve?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is valve. Yeah, there's no standby on it. Yeah.
So, but distortion pedal, Black Star. I only got to use that the other day because it's 22 volt power. But I explain in one of my videos on Show That Pedal.
Yeah.
How I managed to power it and what it does, because it's like the BK Butler overdrive pedal.
Oh yeah,
like what Dave Gilmour uses and Eric Johnson. Because it's got a valve in it, it sort of edges towards that kind of idea.
Yeah,
a little bit high octane, sort of, what with it being a distortion rather than an overdrive. I would have preferred to have had the overdrive, but somebody gave me that, so that's. But I've finally got it working, and, but not with the proprietary control,
Yeah.
This is the case for that SG, so we won't dwell on that. That's a Hohner Pianet.
Oh, one of those little
and I bought that from Norman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from.
Oh, good God, from Old Hat, yeah.
Old Hat, yeah. So that was that. And how long did you work there for?
I was there for about a year and a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, it wasn't very, very long. Yeah. But I'd kind of done bits and pieces for like about 2 years they're not really working there, but kind of going there and doing videos and whatnot about a year beforehand. So.
I remember we did an outdoor festival at Hope Tavern.
Yes.
And he was there.
Yeah, he bought loads. I was there. Yeah, I played between between your sets. Yeah, yeah, I played acoustic.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have played the same festival.
It did. Yeah.
So that's a Fender Blues Deluxe.
That has seen some use.
That has, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, eBay, and silly money really. Turn that off. Yeah, bit of reverb in it.
Yeah.
That's where did I get that one from? I think I got that one from Ripley.
Okay.
In Derbyshire, and it's got blackbacks in it.
Yeah.
And I do like the blackbacks, not as much as greenbacks. I like greenbacks better, but blackbacks are nearly there. That's a weird cab underneath there, because I think it's a 2x12, but it looks like a 4x12.
Oh, so it's just two down the middle kind of thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh,
so, I think it's actually designed to go with this amp.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So they did. I don't know if they did a top or a bottom. I think there was a full stack, but they might have both been straight.
Yeah.
So 100 watt leading bass. Yeah, transistor. I must say, actually, when I first bought it, it was a little bit crackly.
Yeah.
And I took it to. We was running a jam night at the tennis club in Lincoln, and I took this because I thought I didn't mind everybody else playing through it. Sort of.
Yeah.
I thought at least it'll be clean and loud, and it's got overdrive in it as well. But it was a little bit too crackly, unfortunately. So.
Nasty.
But next thing, another Carlsberg. Again, picked it up for about 100 quid.
Nice.
Ridiculous money.
Yeah.
This one's got the reverb in it, and I'm not kidding
amazing.
you. Out of all of the amps that I've ever played through, the reverb in the Carlsberg has got to be one of, if not
really
the
good.
nicest. Yeah.
Awesome.
But
they look cool as well.
So then you can tell me about that, can't you? Because
that's the Marshall Valstate V65R that was mine and is going to be mine again because I'm buying it back because I miss it, so I want it back. So that's that will be coming back with me today. So, but again, fitted into a small box plexi thing by Mr. Andy at FA Guitar Cab.
Yeah.
And then we get
in
down
Lincoln.
to the indeed,
he's got a Facebook page, and you can always contact him. That one's a weird one because it's an MG or an AVT cab.
Yeah.
But I bought this material off eBay because it's the original 60s stuff again.
Yeah.
And it just fitted. I mean, literally, there's a centimetre all around the side.
Yeah.
Just holding it on. And it just fitted in, and I was really chuffed with that. Because for it to have the original material on there,
it's cool, isn't it?
Tone cloth.
Yeah.
They call it, so the Clapton Blues Breaker type stuff, the original Marshall stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, it used to be used for London transport bus seats.
So hard wearing stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then they thought, right, well, if it can withstand lots of bums on seats, everywhere in London for years on end, then we'll have it.
Yeah.
But of course, as you can see from the rip down the middle,
Yeah.
and the rip there and there that somebody's stitched up and there, that all it takes is to put a guitar.
Get a
through
guitar
it.
for it. Yeah.
And,
See those great pictures of like Jimi Hendrix's cabs with those Tolex and Pete Townsend. It's just trashed. It's ripped off.
I know, doesn't that make you weep when you see
it's like,
footage of that? It's like, what, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. At the time, it was just like, let's get a new one. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but we can't now.
No. I've got a cab in the house, which is another one of them upright PA cabs.
Oh yeah.
And it used to have this material on it. It's a 4x12.
Yeah.
And Andy at FA Cabs, he redid it all for me and everything like that. And unfortunately, we couldn't afford any of this stuff. I couldn't get hold of any, so I had to put the new the new stuff on that's on that Marshall over there.
Yeah.
And but what I did just have was just the tiniest little bit of material running along the edge, which just proved that it was from like mid '60s. And I was like, oh right, yeah. So I really need the original sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I bought it from Terry in Boston. I don't know if you ever went to his music shop.
No.
Terry, he was the preeminent Marshall collector of like the East Midlands. He had a place which must have been like 6 times the size of this garage, and this garage is 20 foot by 20 foot. Yeah. And it was a hall, really. Yeah. It was a proper storage sort of place. And he had this not this speaker, but he had one very similar to it, which I've got in the house now. And this American guy rung him up and said, "Oh, we're doing a film. Yeah. And we need some cabs." And he says, "Well, yeah, I've got it, And he says it's definitely got the pinstripe stuff on it. And he said, "Yeah." And he go, "All right, I'm coming over then." And he came over, and it was 80s, I think. So he's like a lot cheaper then. So there's this cab sat there, pretty much like that one, a PA cab. And he goes, "So you want 200 quid for the cab with the material?" Yeah. And it was empty. I didn't think there was any speakers in it. Yeah. And he went, "Yeah, right, fair enough." And he just got a Stanley knife out, and he went, like that, cut around the material, took the material, and give him the 200 quid. He said, "I don't want the cab." And it was like, so he'd bought it so he could do whatever he liked with it, obviously at that point. So there was no and Terry was left with the cab. Which then I subsequently bought without its material, but that's heartbreaking, isn't it?
That's like, no, don't do that. God, that's horrific. Yeah.
So that's PV 410.
No, all right, nice. It's a classics. All the classics, they're great amps.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a cabinet. It's not an amp.
Yeah, it's not the.
But it goes with that head over there, which we'll come to.
Indeed.
So Laney, LC15 again. Picked it up for next to nothing. That was Facebook. What we got that's interesting because that is the 1x12 cabinet with a speaker in it. It's a sidewinder or a power cell, something like that. But it's a 2150 rock and roll baby. Amp, which this would have originally have lived in. We've probably had a close up of that already. FA cabs again. Thumbs in. Upside down, so it would sit in that combo normally, and but it looks lovely, doesn't it? I mean,
it does. The white is so cool.
Yeah.
It's something about white, like custom colour plexis and custom colour cabs. There's something very, very cool about them. Yeah.
So I'm just really chuffed with that and the way it looks. But I did, like I say, I swore that I would never sell that amp because it's just so nice to have an 100-watt Marshall that's really old school, sounds great. Yeah. And you can just go like that and pick it up.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, it still breaks your back, but X-Beat cab. So I bought that from Skegness. Nice. That one I think I bought from Kings Lynn. Yeah. And it's got 65s in it, G12 T65s. So they're quite sort of well thought of in the in the speaker world.
Black Star
haven't let me down yet, this.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not dead yet.
No. I've used it a few times for gigs. I really like it. Yeah. I really wanted one of them sort of artist ones.
They're like the plexis. Yeah.
And but too much money. So but then this is a cab sort of very similar to yours, although this is early 70s, and Yeah, I did actually sell it to a guy actually in Devon, but
Yeah.
then he returned it because the speakers have been reconed, which I didn't know.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they're pre-roller greenbacks, and sounds, to my ears, it sounds awesome. You wouldn't know the difference.
I love the look of these old early 70s caps.
Yeah, battered.
It's like, battered nicotine infused grill cloth.
Yeah, yeah. He bought a pair of like upright PA speakers, which we've got through there. So another 2x12. 1983 model they are. So Carlsborough just goes with the heads, really.
Yeah.
If ever I fancy doing a gig with all Carlsborough stuff, because that's a Nottinghamshire sort of company.
Indeed, yeah.
So, but really nice nick.
Yeah,
you know,
I like the grill cloth on that as well. It's really nice.
I even bought it in Retford, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good grill cloth. Again, like I say, it's got some nicotine in there probably from gigs in bloody working men's clubs. And
Indeed,
stuff. But that's that one. And then this one's the one I've just acquired. So that was a bargain because it didn't work, and sent it off, and Marshall were brilliant with it, and it's come back and it sounds glorious. So I'll use that at the gig on Friday, hopefully.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tap and Spile, we're always there.
Yeah.
Because of course the Rogue Saint shut down, isn't it? Or it's going to change hands. Yeah. So that's
the cab, or
that's just a cab, 1936 cab, and it's got two vintage 30s in it, which I'm quite sort of partial to. And an old logo on it, which I put the screw in too far, so
that's cracked it. Oh well, it adds to the value.
Yeah.
That was broken when Jimi Hendrix accidentally walked into it.
Sneezed on it.
Yeah, he sneezed on it.
That's the Club and Country, which is mint. But this is the one that we were talking about before, the Artiste or whatever it's called. Yeah. And but it's all right, you know. I've used it. I put a decent overdrive pedal through it. Like I've got a Carpe Diem.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch the old show. Watch that. What's it called? That pedal show. Yeah. And not show that pedal. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. That pedal show. We've got considerably more followers than I have, but no, they did a thing on a Carpe Diem overdrive pedal, which is just a plexi pedal, really. Just plug anything into it and it makes it sound like a Marshall. Yeah. So that's great. And then that one, I got that from somewhere in Yorkshire. That's nice. Yeah. It's got the same sort of stainage as what that one's got, but it's sort of slightly nicer condition. Yeah. And it's got greenbacks in it, although they're Ipswich rollers. But again, just sounds great. Yeah, indeed. I think it sounds better than blackbacks. You know. Yeah. Just to me, blackbacks they're great, and I would use them any day. But greenbacks are just always more preferable.
I've my favourite speaker is the 75 watt. Celestians, the G12 75 Ts. Oh yeah. You get in the JCM 900 cabs. They're kind of the more because they're 75 watts. You get a bit more kind of power out of them, and I like that you can. They never break up, so to say, like some of the others, which I like very much. And they're really smooth, which is always good.
I'll tell you about this just quickly because
nice.
Get the turn wheels working.
Amazing. Hopefully you can hear that. That's amazing.
It's got a valve amp in the bottom of it.
Good God.
Right, so you've got to get the wheels going, and then you can switch it on. And then it might finally
come to life.
Because
oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's a Hammond M100.
That sounds wicked. That sounds absolutely wicked.
It was used on White Shade of Pale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way, that actual one?
No, not that.
Oh, no, I mean just the model.
Actual, that model.
Oh, wicked, that's cool.
But not that actual one.
Yeah.
Guitars.
Yeah.
Pedals.
Yep. Governor.
Governor, the old governor. It's not yours, is it?
No, that's not mine. No, I don't sell them.
Mine's got a wonky knob.
Oh, no.
Which,
Catastrophic.
Yeah, you can get medication for that.
Yeah. Just visit your local tone doctor. He'll sort you out. Let me come all the way around here.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, that was mine as well. You might have seen that in a few videos many years ago.
In fact, if proof were needed.
Have I done something to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I stamped
Put your
it.
Initials in it. What's your middle name?
Just Paul.
Paul.
There we go. If I get it in the light, you can see. Which way is it? There it is. So yeah, I stamped it. I didn't realise I stamped it. I forgot I did. I thought it was pre-stampings.
So.
Hello, old friend.
I think when you take that Marshall back,
Yeah.
that'll be the first time that you've ever bought anything off me.
So how much do you want for the restaurant?
Oh, no,
I'm trying to buy things back.
Yeah, the only two, I suppose there's that over there, but the only two things here, JCM 900, another eBay thing, use that for a few gig. It's an 100 watt, 2 speakers, got 75s in.
Oh yeah,
If you ever need any spare 75s, I've got some.
Mega.
Because I've got some other speakers I would probably prefer to have in there. But and then that's the Black Club and Country.
Yeah, which
I've got the bass one as well, which is in.
Oh yeah.
And that's 4x10. But that's probably about it, really.
And then we've got the PV Classic,
PV,
which I love the look of.
Still can't remember the guy's name who used to own it.
There we go.
Kevin Thorpe.
Oh
that's
yes,
it,
yeah,
innit?
that's
Kevin
him.
Thorpe.
Yeah,
There was the Kevin Thorpe stage at New York Blues Festival. But so you've done New York Blues Festival, haven't you?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
So
it's gorgeous, that is.
yeah, and it sounds great. You know, maybe we'll just park the video maybe and just like have a little bit of a playthrough.
Yeah, can we plug it in? That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Wicked. Right, back in a sec. Sound.
Yeah, it's got a lovely camber on it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it sometimes makes them bends a bit. Yeah, it's like a boost, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like going onto the middle pickup.
Indeed, it really kicks out. You can kind of wedge it, yeah. You've got. It's really hard to find. Not quite. It's really hard to find it on that, but it is there somewhere.
Yeah.
Malcolm, he used for the longest time he used bridge and neck, and then when he found that he could wedge it, that's all he used.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and he just like used that sound all the time. So it's a lot easier to wedge it into position 2 than position 4 because he never used it.
And he bought this from like newish.
He bought it brand new. Yeah, bought it brand new in '63.
Crazy.
Locked it down.
It won't go, will
No,
it?
I've locked it down.
It won't go any.
Yeah. Fender time. Go for the Eric Clapton setup here. So we got a Blackie, the Eric Clapton Blackie Strat, and we're going into the what's this again? It's Deluxe.
It's the low input,
Yep.
low gain input, but I have got the drive channel selected as well.
Yeah.
But being a Fender, you can get that clean.
Yeah. There's a lovely reverb in there. There's a boost.
And it's there, innit?
Yeah.
You know, just from the guitar.
Yeah.
It's amazing, that is.
There, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 62 neck on a Strat,
Yeah.
which I'm trying to sell, and I just thought, A, I don't want to take it out and gig it,
Yeah.
you know, because then if it gets damaged, I've some pissed.
Yeah. Some knocks into it.
Drunken twerp.
Yeah, yeah.
I should say.
Yeah. But it happens.
It does, doesn't
They
it?
lost many a teeth
So-
to microphone stands getting smacked into my
So I thought, you know, get rid of that. Have
Yeah.
this. I won't mind taking it out and gigging it.
teeth.
Just it's just a standard from 2002. It was the year that they started bringing out the 59 sort of appointments here and there on the standards again. Most noticeably the Flame,
Yeah. That's good.
but then also there was little bits like in here where you can see
Oh, maple
the
cap.
banding is thin all the way around. It's the same depth,
Yeah.
and you can just see a bit of the maple cap, like you say. On like 80s Les Paul, they covered that bit up by making the binding thicker,
Yeah.
but this is more true to like a 59.
Yeah. That's gorgeous.
So yeah, and it's got bass bookers in it, so they're not PAFs or anything stupid like that. So I've gigged with that loads, and it's just got tone for days.
Yeah. That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It definitely looks well used as well.
Yeah,
got some
I've got some sweat on there.
Yeah. There's some hours on this thing.
There is, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few videos of Blues Boy Kings with me using that on, but we did say, didn't we?
Yes.
That I was going and getting the Strat.
Yes.
So I'll just show you that.
So this is a
It's a 62 Strat neck
Mm.
on 2018 AVRI body.
Oh my good gravy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's more substantially darker and pitted than mine actually. That's quite
it
different.
is. Yeah. But that neck's had some damage.
Oh yeah, I can see that. It's like
It's had a snap.
you can see the crack
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
that's right. But it plays lovely.
That's it's a lovely neck.
Almost as an afterthought, really.
Yeah.
It's,
So
it's these two.
yeah.
Which is a 71 Super PA,
Yeah.
which is the metal.
Oh, it's the metal
aluminium,
panel. Yeah.
not plexi. But this is a 68 plexi.
No.
And obviously sounds absolutely glorious.
Insane, yeah.
And new box on it.
Yeah.
I say new, prior to sort of 2009 when I bought it, and it's 2020 now, folks. So I've had it about 11 years. And but what we're going to do, aren't we, Dave? Next time is we'll do a bit of an A/B test.
Yeah.
Because this one's been modded. So
really?
It's got four inputs for PA.
Okay.
And then it's got 2 super leads and 2 super basses.
Oh, amazing! So we'll get all best of both worlds, all worlds.
Exactly. So what we'll do is next time, when we get a chance, we'll do another video. We'll set up 2. It'd be nice actually to use your red 4x12.
Yeah, I'll drag it along with me.
And then I'll use the pre-roll the Celestians in my early 70s cab and perhaps put this through yours.
Yeah.
Put that through and swap them over anyway.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, see what goes
side by side and see which one sounds best.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. So stay tuned. That video is going to happen at some point, definitely.
On the Dave Simpson channel.
Yes, because unfortunately we didn't get to it today, but yes. Plug.
plug. See you soon, folks.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. See you again.
Bye.
Goodbye now. Oh yeah, just a gratuitous fly into the Marshall Plexi shot.
Why not, indeed.